Good morning, friends around the world. In our last meditation, we began to take a look at transformative anger by laying a foundation for the understanding of the emotion of anger itself. We saw that anger is not a curse or even a problem when we use it to transform or change a circumstance or situation that is wrong in our life or in our world. We saw that this anger power can turn a bad situation into something good. It's the sort of anger that has changed the world throughout history, as well as it has built a human connection between couples, families, countries, and even the world. We saw that we need to stop reacting in anger in our relationships and use it as a way to have happier and healthier relationships with those we're close to and those we love. In today's meditation, we'll focus on transformative anger that is physical. We'll see how this sort of anger can tear down walls and build bridges. Roger was a client of mine when I had a counseling practice in Stuart, Florida many years ago. He was struggling in his marriage and sought help to see what he could do to change it. One day during our session, I asked him what he did for fun. He stopped and thought. Then he said, "I used to ride a bike." I replied, "Did you have a Harley?" He said, "Oh no, Father Ed. I'm a cyclist. I used to be a serious cyclist." He told me all about the races that he had entered years ago and that he still had his $5,000 bike hanging in the garage, but he hadn't even taken it out for a ride in a couple of years. As we talked, I offered him an idea. I said to him, "Roger, why don't you try this? The next time you and Jill have an argument, why don't you take your bike for a ride and cool off?" I saw his hesitancy, so I said, "What?" He said, "I haven't rode a bike in years." Okay, I'll try it. I said, "Well, that's up to you." The following week, he came in for a session, and as we sat down, he started telling me about his new bike riding venture. He said, "You won't believe this. As soon as I got home, Jill and I got into it. So I told her I was going to go for a bike ride. When I came home, I went up to Jill, and I gave her a hug, and I kissed her. Then she said, 'Go take a shower. I can't make love to you when you're so stinky.' I laughed. But wait, it gets better. A couple of days later, we got into another argument, and I told her I was going to go for a bike ride. Well, the first time I only went 10 miles, and I came home. But this time I decided to go a little longer. I remember the first time I came home, and I was smiling when I came in the door. We both burst into laughter as I walked in. And then, yesterday, we got into another fight. It was pretty brutal, both of us. So I told her I'm going to go for a bike ride. As soon as I said that, we both burst out laughing as she pushed me out the door. I was feeling great, Father Ed. I rode 35 miles. I said to him, "That's a great story, Roger." And he replied, "Yeah, but if I keep this bike riding up, I've got to stop smoking." We both laughed. As we sat in the session, he told me how amazed he was with the change in Jill. I asked him what he thought had changed her. He looked dumbfounded. I asked him, "Do you think you changed?" He couldn't explain to me her change. Then that moment of cognitive dissonance struck him. His perspective was that she had changed, but he was the only one acting differently to change their situation. To this day, Roger and Jill have a great marriage. And yes, Roger rides his bike whenever he can. Physical transformative anger is an option for some, not everyone. It certainly worked for Roger and Jill. And Roger stopped smoking on top of it. Let's take the rest of the time we have together this morning and consider these things. Is physical transformative anger something you might use when you're angry or upset with someone? What type of physical activity might you use? Riding a bike? Going for a walk? Working out at the gym? Running? Cleaning the house? Washing the car? Why do you think physical transformative anger builds bridges in relationships?